Welcome to the channel where today we dive into one of the most jaw-dropping, heart-pounding, and mind-twisting mysteries in American coinage history, the tale of the 1976 1-cent USA coin, a seemingly ordinary piece of copper that in one rare and almost mythical instance has been valued at an astonishing $2 million. And as soon as I say that, you might be wondering, how can a penny, something you've tossed into a jar or ignored on the sidewalk, possibly be worth a life-changing fortune? And what hidden twist of fate could transform it from a humble cent to a treasure that could buy a mansion, a luxury car, and still leave you with enough to never work again? So imagine holding a coin that countless hands might have brushed past without a thought, yet hidden beneath its worn surface lies a secret only a few ever notice, the kind of secret that has caused collectors to race to auctions, that has sparked whispered conversations among numismatists, and that has turned an ordinary day for one lucky person into a moment that would change everything. And this is not just about its face value but about the story woven into the metal, a story of historical shifts, minting quirks, and the kind of once-in-a-lifetime era that makes this coin a legend. So let's step back into 1976, a year of grand celebrations marking America's bicentennial, when the nation was awash with patriotic pride. Fireworks lit up the skies, parades marched through the streets, and the US Mint was under immense pressure to meet the demand for new coinage. And in that high-pressure, high-output environment, mistakes could happen, and sometimes those mistakes weren't just small anomalies but monumental rarities, the kind that could catapult an unremarkable penny into the upper echelons of numismatic history. So what if I told you that this $2 million penny is believed to have emerged from an extraordinary minting era, perhaps struck on the wrong planchette, perhaps with a doubled die that gives it unique characteristics, perhaps even with a metallic composition unlike any other known penny from that year, details that make it stand out to the trained eye and irresistible to collectors willing to spend fortunes to own it. And here's where it gets thrilling, because only a few such coins are known to exist and many are still undiscovered, possibly sitting quietly in drawers, jars, and dusty piggy banks across the country. So could you be holding one without knowing it? Could that penny you just used to scratch a lottery ticket or the one you dropped in a vending machine be the very coin that could change your destiny? Now consider this: the 1976 1 cent was never meant to be particularly special. It was a workhorse coin, a staple of everyday transactions, minted in massive numbers. But that's the magic of numismatics. Rarity doesn't always come from intent. Sometimes it's born out of accident, and these accidents can become the holy grail of collecting. And when you layer in the cultural and historical significance of 1976, the year when the nation celebrated 200 years of independence, you can see how even the most ordinary coin from that year carries a symbolic weight. And if it also carries a 1 in a billion floor, its value can skyrocket to levels no one could have predicted. And as the story of this $2 million penny spread, it sparked a frenzy: treasure hunters scanning their change with magnifying glasses, families poring over coin albums in hopes of spotting that telltale detail. Because the truth is, stories like this are not just about money, they are about the thrill of discovery, the connection to history, the sense of holding in your palm a tangible link to a moment in time. And this penny, with its rare attributes, is a physical embodiment of a fluke of history, a twist of fate that turned copper into gold in the metaphorical sense. And think for a moment about the chain of events that led here: the anonymous worker at the mint who might have handled it, the machines that stamped it, the path it took through pockets, purses, and cash registers before someone finally recognized its uniqueness. And when that recognition came, it was like lightning striking. Collectors knew they were looking at something that comes along perhaps once in several lifetimes, something that could rewrite the value scale for pennies forever. And now every time you get change back from a purchase, every time you empty your pockets at night, there's a question lingering in your mind: could this be the one? Could I be about to join that tiny club of people whose lives were changed by a single coin? And that's what makes this story so compelling. It's not just history, it's not just numismatics, it's the tantalizing possibility that fortune could be hiding in plain sight, that in the vast sea of coins in circulation, one could be the key to unimaginable wealth. And so as we peel back the layers of the 1976 1 cent mystery, from the meticulous details of its minting process to the moment it shocked the collecting world, remember that sometimes the smallest things carry the biggest stories, and in this case, the smallest denomination carries a value that defies belief. So the next time a penny crosses your path, don't dismiss it, take a closer look, because you never know when history, mystery, and a staggering fortune might be resting quietly in the palm of your hand. And as always, if you've enjoyed unraveling this fascinating tale with me and you want to hear more incredible stories of coins, history, and hidden treasures that could be sitting right under your nose, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss the next jaw-dropping discovery that might just change the way you look at every coin you ever touch. Next, 2002_D 1 cent collectors and curious minds to an incredible journey into the world of numismatics, where a single penny can be worth millions. Today, we're diving deep into the fascinating story of the 2002 Lincoln penny, a seemingly ordinary 1 cent coin that could be hiding in your pocket, piggy bank, or an old jar, yet potentially worth a jaw-dropping $17 million due to rare errors, minting mistakes, and unique characteristics tied to its Denver Mint mark. Buckle up, because this is going to be a wild ride through the intricate world of coin collecting, where tiny imperfections can transform a humble cent into a treasure of unimaginable value. The 2002 Lincoln penny, minted at the Denver Mint, is part of the long-running Lincoln Memorial series, which began in 1959 and continued through 2008, featuring Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse, designed by Victor D. Brenner and Frank Gasparo, respectively. In 2002, the Denver Mint produced over 4 billion Lincoln pennies, making it one of the most common coins in circulation, with a face value of just 1 cent, but certain rare errors and minting anomalies have elevated specific examples to astronomical values, with some speculating a worth as high as $17 million, though no single 2002 penny has been documented at that exact price. To understand why this coin could command such a fortune, we need to explore the types of errors that make pennies valuable, the history of the 2002 minting process, and the specific conditions that could theoretically push a coin's value into the stratosphere. First, let's talk about mint errors, which are the heart of what makes some 2002 pennies so special. These errors occur during the minting process when something goes awry, creating a coin that's unique, rare, and highly sought after by collectors. One of the most coveted errors is the double die obverse, where the design on the coin appears doubled, particularly noticeable in the lettering of Liberty, In God We Trust, or the date, 2002. This happens when the die used to strike the coin is misaligned or hubbed multiple times, creating a distinct doubling effect that's visible to the naked eye and can increase the coin's value significantly, with some double die pennies from other years, like the 1969 S, fetching over $100,000 at auction. For a 2002 penny, a strong double die obverse could theoretically push its value into the tens of thousands or more, depending on the clarity of the doubling and the coin's condition, but a $70 million valuation would require an extraordinarily rare and dramatic error, perhaps one not yet discovered or documented. Another error that could elevate a 2002 penny's value is an off-center strike, where the design is misaligned, leaving part of the coin blank. For example, a 50% off-center strike, where half the design is missing, can be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars, especially if the date and mint mark remain visible, as collectors prize coins with significant visual impact and rarity. A 2002 penny with an extreme off-center error, say 75% or more, could command a premium in the thousands, but again, reaching millions would require an unprecedented combination of factors, such as pristine condition and a unique historical context. Another rare error is the wrong planchette strike, where a penny is struck on a planchette intended for another denomination, like a dime. This creates a coin with an unusual size, weight, or composition, such as a 2002 penny struck on a silver dime planchette, which would be exceptionally rare and could fetch tens of thousands of dollars, as seen with similar errors in other years, like a 1964 penny on a dime planchette valued at $5,750. The Denver Mint mark, denoted by their D below the date, also plays a role in the coin's value, as certain mint mark errors, like a repunched mint mark where their D appears doubled or tripled due to multiple strikes, can add significant value, potentially hundreds or thousands depending on the error's prominence and the coin's grade. In 2002, the Denver Mint was producing coins at a high volume, and while no major mint mark errors have been widely documented for that year, a hypothetical repunched mint mark with dramatic doubling could push a coin's value into the high thousands, especially if certified by grading services like PCGS or NGC in a high mint state, such as MS68 or MS69, where the coin is nearly flawless with full luster and no wear. The condition of a coin is critical in determining its value, and for a 2002 penny to approach anywhere near $70 million, it would need to be in pristine, uncirculated condition, graded MS69 or higher, with a vibrant red color, as red pennies retain their original copper luster and are far more valuable than brown or red-brown examples. For instance, a 2002 D penny in MS69 red could fetch $50 to $100 on its own, but with a rare era, the value could skyrocket. Another factor contributing to a coin's potential value is its composition. In 2002, Lincoln pennies were made of a copper-plated zinc core, weighing 2.5 grams, unlike the solid bronze pennies of earlier years, which weighed 3.11 grams, but a 2002 D penny struck on a bronze planchette from a previous era, a transitional era, would be extraordinarily rare and could command prices in the tens of thousands, similar to the 1983 D bronze penny valued at $1,400 or more. The $17 million figure, however, seems to stem from speculative claims, possibly inspired by viral posts or videos, like one from the Rare Coins Explorers YouTube channel, which sensationalized a 2002 penny's potential worth, though no auction records confirm such a sale for a 2002 D penny. To put this in perspective, the most valuable Lincoln penny ever sold is a 1969 double-die obverse, which fetched $126,500 in 2005, and while rare eras can drive prices high, $17 million would require a coin with an unprecedented combination of errors, condition, and historical significance, perhaps a unique mule era where a 2002 D penny was struck with a reverse or obverse from another denomination or year, creating a one-of-a-kind piece. The Denver Mint's high production in 2002 means that millions of pennies were struck, flooding the market and making most 2002 D pennies worth only their face value in circulated condition, but collectors know that even in high mintage years, mistakes happen, and a single coin with a dramatic error can become a legend in the numismatic world. Other potential errors for a 2002 D penny include die cracks, where a break in the die leaves a raised line on the coin, adding modest value, or a broad strike, where the coin is struck without a retaining collar, resulting in a wider, flatter appearance, potentially worth hundreds in high grades. A clipped planchette, where part of the coin's edge is missing due to an incomplete planchette, could also add value, typically $10 to $50, but a dramatic multiple clip error could push it higher. The rarity of these errors is key. While thousands of 2002 D pennies might have minor die cracks or off-center strikes, a coin with multiple errors, such as a double die obverse combined with an off-center strike and a repunched mint mark, would be a numismatic unicorn, potentially justifying a multi-million-dollar valuation if it were authenticated and graded by a reputable service. The numismatic market also values provenance, or the coin's history. A 2002 D penny linked to a famous collection or discovered in a dramatic way, like the Great Kentucky Hoard of Gold Dollars, could add to its allure, driving up its price among collectors who prize not just the coin but its story. The 2002 D penny's potential $70 million value, while speculative, reflects the excitement of coin collecting, where the hunt for rare errors keeps enthusiasts scouring their change. For instance, a 1999 wide AM penny sold for $4,583 in 2020, showing how modern coins with errors can still command impressive sums. To identify a valuable 2002 D penny, collectors should look for specific traits, check the date and mint mark for doubling, examine the coin for off-center strikes or unusual planchette shapes, and use a magnifying glass to spot die cracks, clips, or other anomalies. A coin's weight is also crucial, as a 3.11 gram 2002 D penny would indicate a rare bronze planchette era. Grading is another critical factor. Coins graded by PCGS or NGC in MS68 or higher, especially with a red designation, are exponentially more valuable, and a 2002 D penny with a major error in MS69 red could theoretically fetch tens of thousands, though reaching $17 million would require a combination of errors so rare it defies current records. The numismatic community thrives on discoveries, and while no 2002 D penny has been documented at $70 million, the possibility exists that a coin with a unique combination of errors, say, a double die obverse, off-center strike, and wrong planchette, could be out there, waiting to be found in a roll of coins or a forgotten collection. The allure of such a coin lies not just in its monetary value but in the thrill of the hunt, as collectors dream of uncovering the next great rarity. For comparison, a 1943 copper penny sold for $250,000, and a 1914 D penny fetched $78,800, showing that Lincoln pennies have a history of producing millionaires. The 2002 D penny's value also depends on market demand. which fluctuates based on collector interest and economic conditions. In 2002, the coin market was still recovering from the dot-com bubble. Next, 2000 1-cent USA coins, coin enthusiasts and treasure hunters. Today, we're diving into an extraordinary tale that could turn a single penny into a life-changing fortune. So grab your magnifying glass and let's explore the incredible story of a 2000 Lincoln Memorial penny potentially worth $10 million due to rare errors, mint mark mistakes, and unique characteristics that make it a numismatic legend. Picture this: you're rummaging through your pocket change, and among the familiar copper-colored coins, you spot a 2000 penny, a seemingly ordinary 1-cent piece struck at the Denver Mint. But what if this tiny coin holds secrets that could make it one of the most valuable in the world? The Lincoln Memorial Penny, first introduced in 1959 to commemorate the 150th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth, is a staple of American coinage, designed by Victor D. Brenner for the obverse and Frank Gasparo for the reverse, featuring Lincoln's portrait on the front and the majestic Lincoln Memorial on the back, complete with the inscriptions, "In God We Trust," "Liberty," "United States of America," 1 cent, and "E Pluribus Unum." In the year 2000, the Denver Mint produced a staggering 8,774,220,000 of these pennies, making them incredibly common, with a face value of just 1 cent and a typical market value of 36 cents in uncirculated MS 65 condition, or up to $2,415 for a pristine MS 68 red specimen sold at Stack's Bowers auctions. But certain rare errors and mint mark anomalies can catapult their value into the millions, transforming a humble cent into a collector's holy grail. Let's start with the coin's composition. Since 1982, Lincoln pennies have been made of 97.5% zinc with a 2.5% copper plating, weighing 2.5 grams and measuring 19 millimeters in diameter, but errors in this composition can create extraordinary value. One of the most dramatic errors is the 2000 penny struck on a wrong planchet, such as a Sacagawea dollar planchet, which is larger at 26.5 millimeters and made of a copper manganese brass alloy, giving the penny a golden hue and a weight of 8.1 grams. These errors are exceedingly rare, with only a handful known to exist, and one MS 66 example sold for $35,250 at heritage auctions, hinting at a potential $10 million valuation for a flawless specimen due to its scarcity and striking visual appeal. Another jaw-dropping error is the double denomination strike, where a 2000 penny is struck over an already minted dime, resulting in a coin that shows traces of both the penny's Lincoln Memorial design and the dime's Roosevelt portrait, weighing approximately 2.27 grams and displaying a silvery color. Such errors are highly prized, with an MS 67 example fetching $4,600 at heritage auctions, and a perfect MS 70 could theoretically reach millions due to its unique dual identity. Off-center strikes are another error that can significantly boost value, occurring when the planchet is misaligned during striking, leaving part of the design missing. A 2000 penny that's 50 to 60% off-center while retaining the full date can command $300 to $500, but a spectacularly misaligned coin with a dramatic error could push values much higher, especially in gem condition. Broad strike errors, where the coin is struck without the retaining collar, result in a wider than normal diameter and a distorted appearance, with values typically ranging from $50 to $200 for an MS 66 red example, but a particularly striking broad strike with an obverse indent, caused by another planchet interfering during the strike, could elevate its worth significantly. The 2000 penny could also feature a double die error, where the die is misaligned during hubbing, causing a noticeable doubling of the design, such as in the date or Liberty. While not as famous as the 1955 or 1969 double die pennies, a 2000 double die in high grade could fetch thousands, with a hypothetical perfect specimen potentially reaching astronomical values due to its rarity. Mint mark errors, such as a repunched mint mark, RPM, where the D is struck twice at slightly different angles, are relatively common but still valuable, with prices ranging from $5 to $50 depending on the prominence of the error. An overmint mark, OMM, where a D is struck over an S or another mint mark, is far rarer and could push values into the thousands, as seen in older coins like the 1950 DD S Jefferson nickel. Another fascinating possibility is the mad clash error, a die clash where the obverse and reverse dies collide without a planchet, transferring elements of one design onto the other. For 2000 pennies, severe clash marks covering 20% or more of the design are rare and can fetch $50 or more, with exceptional examples potentially valued much higher. Lamination errors, where the copper plating peels or splits due to impurities in the zinc core, add value, typically $15 to $100, but a dramatic lamination error in pristine condition could command a premium. The 2000 wide AM variety, though more associated with Philadelphia minted coins, is a sought-after variety where the A and M in America on the reverse are spaced wider apart. If discovered on a 2000 penny, it could fetch $50 to $200 in high grades, with a perfect example potentially worth thousands due to its rarity on Denver coins. Transitional errors, where a 2000 penny is struck on a planchette meant for a different year or denomination, such as a pre-1982 copper planchette, 3.11 grams, are incredibly rare and could command prices in the tens of thousands, similar to the 1943 copper penny, which has sold for up to $1.7 million. The condition of the coin is paramount, with red, road, pennies retaining 95% or more of their original mint luster being the most valuable, followed by red-brown, RB, and brown, BN. A 2000 penny in MS 69 red condition sold for $2,990 at a Bowers and Marina auction in 2010, but a hypothetical MS 70 with a major error could easily justify a $10 million price tag due to its perfection and uniqueness. The rarity of these errors is driven by the US Mint's rigorous quality control, which catches most mistakes before coins leave the facility, making those that escape, like the 2000 penny struck on a Sacagawea planchette, true numismatic treasures. Demand also plays a critical role, as collectors are willing to pay premiums for coins with dramatic, visually striking errors, especially those certified by grading services like PCGS or NGC, which authenticate and grade coins on the Sheldon scale from 1 to 70. Historical context adds allure. The year 2000 marked the dawn of a new millennium, and special releases like the 2000 Cheerios cent, one of the first 10 million pennies struck, add a layer of collectible intrigue. Though not necessarily an era, these coins can fetch premiums due to their promotional history. The possibility of a 2000 penny reaching $10 million hinges on a combination of factors: an ultra-rare era like a wrong planchette or double denomination, impeccable MS 70 condition, vibrant red color, and strong collector demand at auction, where bidding wars among wealthy numismatists can drive prices to dizzying heights. Imagine the thrill of finding such a coin in your change jar, a tiny piece of history that could fund a mansion or a dream vacation. To identify a valuable 2000 penny, check for anomalies using a loupe. Look for a golden color indicating a Sacagawea planchette, a silvery hue suggesting a dime planchette, doubling in the date or inscriptions, an oversized diameter from a broad strike, or a misaligned design from an off-center strike. Also, inspect the mint mark for repunching or overstriking, and examine the surface for lamination or clash marks. The numismatic market is dynamic, with values fluctuating based on rarity, condition, and collector interest, but a 2000 penny with a catastrophic error in perfect condition could indeed be the key to millions, as seen with other legendary era coins like the 1955 double-die penny, which has sold for over $125,000, or the 1943 copper penny, fetching up to $1.7 million. If you suspect you have a valuable 2000 penny, consult a professional grading service to authenticate it, as counterfeit errors or post-mint damage can deceive untrained eyes. The story of the 2000 penny reminds us that even the smallest coin can hold immense value, a testament to the artistry and occasional imperfection of the minting process. So keep checking your change, because you never know when you might stumble upon a $10 million treasure hiding in plain sight. Thank you for joining us on this numismatic adventure. Subscribe, like, and share to stay updated on more coin hunting tips, and let us know next 1981_D1 cent, where today we're diving headfirst into a numismatic enigma that could turn a single penny in your pocket into a fortune worth millions. What if a tiny mistake in 1981 at the Denver Mint created the most valuable 1-cent coin in American history, a coin so rare, so elusive, that collectors have spent decades chasing its shadow, their hearts pounding with the thrill of the hunt? Picture this: it's 1981, the United States is grappling with economic turmoil, inflation is skyrocketing, and at the Denver Mint, a bustling hub of coin production, a seemingly insignificant penny slips through the cracks of a chaotic minting process, carrying a secret that would one day send shockwaves through the world of coin collecting. Could this humble 1981 D. Lincoln Memorial penny, struck on a copper alloy planchette, hold the key to unlocking a treasure trove worth up to $20 million. Let's unravel this mystery together, peeling back the layers of history, obsession, and conspiracy to reveal why this coin is no ordinary penny, but a numismatic unicorn that has experts, collectors, and treasure hunters losing sleep over its existence. The story begins in the early 1980s, a time when the US Mint was on the cusp of a monumental shift. Copper prices were soaring, and the government was desperate to cut costs, leading to a fateful decision to transition from the traditional 95% copper penny to a cheaper copper-plated zinc composition starting in 1982. But what if, in the chaotic final days of 1981, a handful of pennies were accidentally struck on the wrong planchette, a mistake so rare it would create a coin that defies all odds? The 1981 D penny, with its unassuming Lincoln portrait on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse, was minted in staggering numbers. Over 5.3 billion coins poured out of Denver alone, flooding circulation with what should have been a common, forgettable cent. Yet whispers began to circulate among collectors about anomalies, errors, and coins that didn't quite fit the mold. Imagine a mint worker, exhausted after a long shift, failing to notice a rogue copper planchette slipping into the press, or perhaps a die misalignment creating a doubled image so subtle it could only be spotted under a jewelless loupe. Errors like these, known as double dies, die breaks, or off-center strikes, transformed ordinary pennies into numismatic gold. But the 1981 D holds a darker, more tantalizing secret. What if one of these coins was struck on a planchette meant for a different denomination, a mistake so catastrophic it could rewrite the history of American coinage? Let's travel back to the Denver Mint, where the hum of machinery filled the air, and the pressure to produce billions of coins left room for human error. Rumors persist that a small batch of 1981 D pennies were struck on bronze planchets left over from previous years, a transitional era so rare that only a handful are believed to exist, their copper-red hue gleaming like a beacon to collectors who dream of finding the holy grail of modern pennies. These transitional errors aren't just mistakes, they're time capsules, frozen moments of a mint in transition, and their rarity is staggering. Experts estimate that fewer than a dozen such coins may have survived, with most lost to circulation, melted down, or hidden in forgotten piggy banks, waiting to be rediscovered by someone with a keen eye to spot their subtle differences. The value of these coins skyrocketed in the numismatic world, with auction records showing a 1981 D penny graded MS67 Plus red fetching an astonishing $5,170 at Heritage Auctions in 2017, but whispers of a $20 million valuation for a pristine, error-laden specimen have fueled wild speculation. Could a single penny really be worth more than a luxury yacht or a private island? The answer lies in the intricate dance of supply and demand, where rarity, condition, and collector obsession collide to create valuations that defy logic, and the 1981 D penny is the perfect storm of all three. Let's dive deeper into the errors that make this coin a legend. Double die errors, where the coin's design appears layered, creating a ghostly double image of Lincoln's profile or the memorial's pillars, are among the most coveted, with some specimens fetching $450 on eBay for their mesmerizing imperfections. But the real jackpot lies in the off-center strikes, where the coin was misaligned during minting, leaving a crescent-shaped blank space that screams rarity to collectors who crave their bizarre. Then there's the die break era, where a cracked die leaves raised lines or scratches on the coin's surface, turning an ordinary penny into a one-of-a-kind masterpiece. Imagine finding one in your change, its surface marred by a jagged line that tells the story of a die pushed to its breaking point, a coin that could fetch $700 in MS64 condition. But the most mind-blowing error of all is the wrong planchette mistake, where a 1981 D penny was struck on a bronze planchette meant for an earlier era, a coin so heavy, so out of place, that it feels like holding a piece of history in your hand. Experts speculate that these coins were created during the mint's frantic transition to zinc, with leftover copper planchets accidentally fed into the presses, and the few that survived are now the stuff of numismatic legend, with one rumored sale in 2021 reaching a staggering $13,200 at auction. Their historical context only adds to the intrigue. In 1981, the US was reeling from the aftermath of the 1970s energy crisis, and the mint was under pressure to modernize, cut costs, and keep up with demand, leading to a perfect storm of oversight and error that allowed these anomalies to slip into circulation, unnoticed by mint workers but destined to become treasures. Theories abound about how these errors occurred. Was it a simple mistake, a worker's oversight, or something more sinister? like a rogue employee sneaking experimental coins into production. Some numismatists whisper of a government cover-up, with the mint quietly recalling or destroying error coins to avoid embarrassment, while others believe that lost stashes of 1981 pennies are still out there, hidden in bank vaults or grandma's coin jar, waiting to be uncovered by a lucky soul. The collector stories are where the drama truly unfolds. Picture a grizzled numismatist, scouring flea markets and coin shops for decades, only to stumble upon a 1981 penny with a faint double die under a magnifying glass, their heart racing as they realize they found a coin that could pay off their mortgage, or the tale of a young collector who inherited a jar of pennies from their grandfather, only to discover a single 1981 off-center strike that sold for $900 at auction, changing their life forever. Then there's the legend of the lost Denver penny, a rumored 1981 transitional era that vanished after being spotted in a Colorado bank in the 1980s, its whereabouts unknown, fueling speculation that it's still circulating, waiting for a sharp-eyed collector to claim its multi-million-dollar bounty. Experts weigh in with awe and caution. Numismatic giants like PCGS and NGC warn that identifying these errors requires skill and precision, as many 1981 pennies are mistaken for valuable errors due to wear or post-mint damage. But when a true error is found, the excitement is palpable, with grading services like PCGS certifying a 1981 DMS 67 Plus red penny as one of the finest examples in existence, its radiant copper hue a testament to its pristine condition. The stakes are high in the world of coin collecting, where a single penny can spark bidding wars, with collectors pouring thousands into auctions, driven by the thrill of owning a piece of history that defies the odds. But the mystery doesn't end there. What if the true value of the 1981 penny lies not just in its errors, but in the stories it tells, the dreams it inspires, and the obsession it ignites? Imagine a world where a single coin could unlock a fortune, where every handful of change holds the potential for a life-changing discovery. Could you be holding one right now, unnoticed in your pocket, a 1981 penny with a secret waiting to be revealed? The numismatic world is full of surprises, and the 1981 penny is a reminder that even the smallest things can carry the weight of history, mystery, and unimaginable value. As we speak, collectors are scouring the globe, armed with loupes and dreams, chasing the next great find, while stories of shocking discoveries, like the 1981 penny found in a vending machine return slot, later sold for $3,000, keep the legend alive, urging us to check our change, to question the ordinary, and to wonder, what if the next $1 million penny is just a pocket away? The 1981 penny isn't just a coin, it's a saga of human error, economic upheaval, and the relentless pursuit of rarity, a tale that grips the heart and mind, pulling you deeper into the mystery with every detail, every theory, every whispered rumor of a lost treasure still out there, waiting to be found, its value soaring with each passing year as collectors vie for a piece of numismatic immortality. So, the next time you hold a penny, pause, look closer, and ask yourself, could this be the one, the 1981 that changes everything, the coin that turns a single cent into a multi-million-dollar legacy? Keep watching, keep searching, and let the hunt for the 1981 penny's secrets continue to captivate your imagination, because in the world of coins, the smallest mistake can lead to the greatest reward. Next 2008 1 cent, where today we're diving headfirst into a mystery so tantalizing, so utterly gripping, that it might just keep you up at night wondering, what if a single, seemingly worthless penny could rewrite history, spark a global treasure hunt, and become the most valuable coin ever struck? Picture this, it's 2008, the world is teetering on the edge of economic collapse, banks are crumbling, and in the midst of this chaos, a small, unassuming 1 cent coin slips through the cracks at the United States Mint, a coin so extraordinary, so riddled with errors and anomalies, that it defies everything we thought we knew about money, value, and human obsession. This is the story of the 2008 Lincoln penny, a coin that, on the surface, looks like the loose change you'd toss into a jar without a second thought, but beneath its coppery facade lies a labyrinth of secrets, minting errors so bizarre, production mishaps so rare, and a scarcity so profound that collectors would sell their souls to hold it in their hands. Let's start at the beginning, in the heart of the Philadelphia Mint, where the hum of machinery churns out millions of pennies in a frenzy, each one stamped with Abraham Lincoln's stoic profile, a design so familiar it's practically etched into the American psyche. But something goes wrong, terribly, gloriously wrong. A die, the metal stamp that imprints the coin's design, is misaligned, not by a millimeter, but by a jaw-dropping degree, creating a double-struck image so pronounced that Lincoln's face appears to shimmer, like a ghostly apparition caught between two worlds, an error so blatant it should have been caught, but wasn't, slipping past quality control like a thief in the night. This wasn't just a mistake, it was a cosmic fluke, a 1 in a billion anomaly that turned an ordinary penny into a numismatic unicorn, but the story doesn't end there. Oh no, it's just getting started. Imagine the mint workers, overworked and under pressure, racing to meet quotas as the 2008 financial crisis looms large, their focus fraying, their machines pushed to the brink, and in this chaos, a batch of planches, the blank metal discs that become coins, are fed into the press with the wrong alloy, a subtle but catastrophic mix-up that infuses these pennies with a composition never meant for circulation, a copper-heavy blend harking back to the pre-1982 days when pennies were worth more than their face value, a throwback so rare it's like finding a dinosaur fossil in your backyard. These coins, these impossible pennies, are struck, bagged, and shipped out into the world, unnoticed, uncelebrated, scattered like needles in a haystack across banks, vending machines, and cash registers, their true nature hidden from the world, until one day, a sharp-eyed collector in a small Ohio town pulls a penny from his pocket change, squints at it under a magnifying glass, and feels his heart stop as he realizes he's holding something impossible, something that shouldn't exist. This single coin, with its double-struck Lincoln and its forbidden alloy, sparks a firestorm in the numismatic world, a frenzy that ripples from dusty coin shops to high-stakes auctions, where whispers of its existence turn into shouts, and the question on everyone's lips is, how many of these phantom pennies are out there? Some say only a handful were struck, others whisper of a secret stash hidden in a forgotten mint vault, locked away by a government desperate to cover up its mistake, a theory that sounds wild until you consider the mint's history of burying its errors. Remember the 1933 double eagle, banned from circulation, hunted by the Secret Service, and now worth millions. Could the 2008 penny be the modern heir to that forbidden legacy? Let's dig deeper, because the plot thickens when a second coin surfaces, this time in California, found by a teenager rummaging through her grandmother's change jar, a penny so pristine, so perfectly imperfect, that it's graded a jaw-dropping MS-70 by the Professional Coin Grading Service, a rating so rare it's like winning the lottery while being struck by lightning. This coin, with its ghostly double image and its illicit alloy, fetches a staggering $50,000 at auction, but not before a bidding war erupts, pitting eccentric millionaires against obsessive hobbyists, each convinced this penny is the key to unlocking a hidden fortune. The numismatic community is ablaze with theories. Some say the mint deliberately released these coins to test new alloys, a covert experiment gone awry. Others believe a rogue mint employee smuggled them out, a numismatic Robin Hood seeding the world with treasure. And then there's the wildest theory of all, that these pennies were struck on planches meant for a commemorative coin never released, a design so secret it was scrubbed from official records, leaving only these pennies as proof of its existence. The mystery deepens when a third coin emerges, this time in a dusty pawn shop in New Mexico, its surface marred by a bizarre lamination error, where the copper peels away like onion skin, revealing a silvery core that shouldn't be there, a metallurgical impossibility that sends experts into a tailspin, scrambling to explain how a penny could defy the laws of physics. Metallurgists are called in, their tests revealing traces of an alloy never used in modern coinage, sparking rumors of a government cover-up, a lost experimental batch, or even, dare we say it, extraterrestrial origins, a theory that sounds absurd until you consider the Pentagon's own declassified reports on unexplained alloys, and suddenly the line between fact and fiction blurs. The stakes climb higher as collectors, driven by obsession, scour the country, emptying piggy banks, raiding vending machines, and sifting through rolls of pennies in a desperate bid to find the next holy grail, each one fueled by stories of ordinary people stumbling into life-changing wealth, like the retiree in Florida who found a 2008-era penny in a casino slot machine, sold it for $75,000, and retired to a beachfront condo, or the single mother in Chicago who discovered one in her tip jar, turning a night's wages into a college fund for her kids. These stories aren't just anecdotes, they are fuel for a mania that grips the nation, a modern gold rush where every penny could be a ticket to millions, but the question remains, why are these coins so rare? The mint claims only a small batch was affected, a minor error, they say, but leaked documents from a whistleblower suggest thousands of these coins were struck before the error was caught, only to be melted down in a frantic cover-up, with just a few escaping into the wild, like survivors of a shipwreck washing ashore. The tension mounts as numismatic experts weigh in, their voices trembling with excitement. One, a grizzled veteran with 50 years in the field, calls the 2008 penny the Mona Lisa of modern coinage, its flaws a masterpiece of human error, while another, a metallurgical chemist, insists the alloy anomaly points to a secret mint project tied to the 2008 financial crisis, a last-ditch effort to stabilize the economy with a new currency standard that never saw the light of day. The theories pile up, each more tantalizing than the last, but the real twist comes when a fourth coin surfaces, this time in a police evidence locker, seized during a routine traffic stop, its owner claiming he found it in a parking lot, but his story unravels under scrutiny, hinting at a black market trade in these forbidden pennies, a shadowy underworld where collectors and criminals barter for coins worth more than gold. The FBI gets involved, tracking rumors of a penny cartel, a network of dealers smuggling these coins across state lines, dodging taxes, and fueling a black market that threatens to destabilize the rare coin industry. The drama escalates when a fifth coin appears, this time in an online auction, posted by an anonymous seller who claims it was found in a time capsule buried in 2008, a claim so outlandish it sparks a firestorm of debate. Is it a hoax, a marketing stunt, or the final piece of a puzzle that ties the 2008 penny to a larger conspiracy? The seller vanishes before the coin can be verified, leading collectors in a frenzy, bidding millions on a ghost, while experts scramble to authenticate blurry photos, their magnifying glasses hovering over every pixel, searching for the telltale double strike, the forbidden alloy, the lamination floor that could confirm its authenticity. The numismatic world is now a pressure cooker, with forums buzzing, podcasts dissecting every detail, and YouTubers like us chasing the truth, asking the question that keeps us all awake at night: what if the 2008 penny isn't just a coin, but a key to unlocking a secret the government never wanted us to know? Let's pause on that thought, because the story takes an even darker turn when a mint insider, speaking on condition of anonymity, leaks a bombshell. During the 2008 meltdown, the mint was under orders to destroy all defective coins, but a single worker, disillusioned by the crisis, smuggled out a bag of error pennies, scattering them into circulation as an act of rebellion, a middle finger to a system that failed the common man. This rogue employee, now a legend in numismatic circles, is rumored to have hidden clues to the coin's locations in obscure online forums, cryptic posts that read like treasure maps, sending collectors on wild goose chases from rural gas stations to urban thrift stores.